Now we've come to the end of the Ring City DLC for Dark Souls 3. We have one remaining boss fight, that is Slave Knight Gael. For those wondering, this is New Game Plus, as this is my second playthrough of the DLC. And to be honest, I don't really remember that many of his moves, so I might need a little bit of time to re-familiarise myself and learn his attack patterns and consequently windows of opportunity to get some damage in on him. This cutscene never gets old. It's one of the more memorable introductions to one of the bosses. And forget about what you thought you knew of Slave Knight Gael before this moment, because a lot has changed in that time. As you can see, he's a lot more buffed up, a lot bigger than what he used to be. I like how his sword is all worn down, covered in battle scars, which gives a bit of an indication as to what we could only imagine he's endured through the years leading to this point. I like how that's reminiscent of the Knight Artorias cutscene in Artorias of the Abyss DLC for the first Dark Souls. As you can see, he likes to jump around a lot, which can make it a little bit hard to predict his moves. He also doesn't leave that many windows to strike back in between his attacks. That, coupled with the fact that he attacks so rapidly, draining his stamina, doesn't really help. I guess that's what makes this such a challenging fight, and consequently one of the more memorable fights in the series. Added to the fact that, as you can see, he's got a lot of health, so it really is a test of endurance. I'm really burning through the Estus at the moment. It's alright, I'll get familiar with his moves so I can better time and judge when and where I should be dodging, and also when I do have a chance to get some damage on him. That hurt just a little bit. Oh, that backswing gets me every time. So that lunge or dive, you really don't want to be hit by it. Even if you're blocking, he will still impale you with his sword. And mistakes were made. Well, after stupidly running back, going straight for the souls and getting myself killed again, let's see how we go this time. For convenience of watching, I'll speed up, fast forward the failed attempts and questionable decision making. Otherwise this video will probably drag on for way too long. Anyway, I've found the best strategy so far is to really just try and stick in close to his left hand side and try and either block or dodge most of his attacks. So then you're in nice and close when there is a window of opportunity to attack him. And just watch out for this combo, especially that downward plunge, since that has killed me a few times. As mentioned before, this is really just another one of those tests of endurance. To really just stay focused and not get too greedy. Just slowly chip away at his health and focus on being as efficient as possible and staying alive. Misjudged the distance there. So now we'll see phase 2 of the fight start. As is the case with most bosses, it pretty much just adds a new element to the fight. Makes it a little bit more difficult. But most people would say that's also part of the fun. Adding to the difficulty while remaining fair. Which is one thing that this series has always been good for the most part anyway. Challenging but fair. Rewarding you for the effort to improve your skill. And every failure just another lesson to be learned. Now he's a bit angry. You'll notice here as well, his cape that follows through with each of his attacks, that can hit you and do damage as well. From memory, he also has a rapid firing crossbow in this phase. Yeah, there it is. He was about to shoot me with it. Best thing I've found is either block or dodge the spray of bolts. Also, that's a miracle that he'll throw out a heap of discs and then they will return back to him, so just be mindful of that while you move around as you're fighting. His combos also seem to be a little bit longer than before. Like instead of 2 to 3 hits, now they're like 3 to 4. Now on to the last phase. So you want to try and avoid being hit by those, or what look like fireballs. I'm not sure exactly what damage type they are. They look like little flaming skulls. But as you probably noticed, each spot on the ground that they hit, they'll leave this glowing white circle. And then a few seconds later, a bolt of lightning will come down and hit each of those spots. So you really want to just steer clear of those zones on the ground. Other than that, it's just as usual. Just don't get greedy and slowly chip away at his health. This really is a epic final to the DLC for this game, and one of my more enjoyable boss fights, really. As you can see, I'm just trying to circle around him and bait out the windows to attack after his combos finish. And watch out for those dives. I think the thing that throws a lot of people off with this fight is just everything that's going on and trying to maintain a little bit of spatial awareness while also focusing on the boss and what he's doing. You really have to sort of multitask on keeping yourself focused and coordinated. I got greedy because I thought that attack would have finished him off, but here we go. And that concludes the Ring City DLC. Definitely one of the standout bosses, and as with most of the bosses in this series, the sense of accomplishment after defeating them is really the end reward.